You asked for it, and we delivered. No matter what anybody says, there's definitely still lots of love for the beloved single-player game. So here are 15 more single-player games coming this 2020, all arranged by release dates.
Vicious terror attack left hundreds dead. Mayor of London has declared a state of emergency.
Watch Dogs Legion. Ubisoft has big plans for 2020, and they're making it clear through this latest installment of their Watch Dogs series. Watch Dogs has always been an interesting exploration of the open world genre with its undercurrents of hacking and technology.
There are thousands of possibilities. Whether you've got a knack for gizmos, or you'd rather stalk people from the shadows.
In Legion, they're determined to take it up a notch, inviting everyone into their world's burgeoning revolution. Take to modern-day London and recruit everyone, big or small, young or frail, into your network and use their skills to achieve each mission.
And this is Alan, old codger and veritable mad bastard.
But you lose one and you lose them forever.
R.I.P. Alan.
With an element of permadeath injected into the story, it adds that layer of humanity into the ultra-diverse experience. While it's been pushed back some, we can probably expect it on our PCs, PS4s, and Xbox Ones sometime in the later half of 2020.
We've gotta be dreaming.
Resident Evil 3. Capcom has been absolutely nailing their survival horror series, with Resident Evil 2 earning top spots in our 2019 rankings. Following this recent announcement of another huge retro remake, it doesn't look like they're about to lose steam anytime soon. Just from the trailer, we know Resident Evil 3 is about to kick the scares to high gear as we follow Jill's frantic escape from a mob of the infected. That theme of running away is reported to be a central part of this remake, making it a more action-focused title.
You guys are the ones who caused all of this.
Oh, come on.
While it follows pretty much the same story as the original, Capcom said that Resident Evil 3 will come with rearrangements to the plot and even a personality switch for the character Carlos. What they're making that sure won't change though is how much we'll all love Jill. It's set to release on the PC, PS4, and Xbox One on the 3rd of April 2020.
Attention, Earth creatures. This planet is now part of the Furon Empire. Your benevolent masters welcome you.
Destroy all humans! A new decade is the perfect time for comeback, it seems. It might not be as AAA as Resident Evil, but nostalgia still runs deep for this crypto title from 2005.
Leave no trace.
With all this destruction already going around these days, we might as well invite the aliens into the fun.
I am not green.
Created by Black Forest Games and THQ Nordic, this 2020 remake of Destroy All Humans is looking sleek with its high-definition makeover that translates into smoother aiming and simultaneous actions too. Still set in 1959, the Cold War references, genocidal antics, and overall wackiness are certainly here to stay. It's coming to the PC, the PS4, and the Xbox One sometime in the second quarter.
Is the Empire striking back or what? Looks like things are gonna get weird today.
No More Heroes 3. As fun as it was lollygagging as Travis touched down and Travis Strikes Again, nothing compares to a fresh new installment of Suda51's hack and slash series. Following a 10-year hiatus, No More Heroes 3 is finally happening, and if Suda is to be believed, bigger, bloodier, and a lot like the Avengers. With Earth under attack by an alien with an uncharacteristically quaint origin, there's potential for that superhero brand of global-scale action.
don't you worry. A hero descends. What? There are no heroes in this world?
Suda51 has always been at the cutting edge, and the expectations are definitely high for this latest numbered installment.
Is that you?
Damon, I love you!
There is no official release window just yet, but we're ready for things to get very, very weird on the Switch.
What did you do?
Ari, like your father before you, you must become the Guardian of Winter.
Ari and the Secret of Seasons. Even if Sony didn't make an appearance in 2019's E3, you'll have another thing coming if you expect them to hold back on the good stuff. One of those good stuff just happens to be this award-winning adventure game.
The greatest adventures have small beginnings.
Play as the young Ariel, and with her powers of manipulating the seasons, bring balance to the world of Valdi. For anyone who loved Nintendo's Breath of the Wild, Ari and the Secret of the Seasons has almost that same kind of wondrous environment populated by charming creatures and dungeon puzzles to tinker with. A new world to immerse yourself in. It's coming to the PC, the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and the Switch this March 2020.
Some people want you to be a savior, a shining beacon of hope. Those people clearly haven't met you yet.
The Outer Worlds. If you're on the PC, the PS4, and the Xbox One, chances are you've probably experienced Obsidian Entertainment's latest sci-fi RPG venture. But for those waiting for the ultimate portable experience on the Switch, it's still a pretty long wait. For many, The Outer Worlds has achieved everything it set out for, and that is creating a new open-world experience that rivals their previous New Vegas hit. Considering its success on its debut platforms, though, getting that loaded RPG experience on the go remains an enticing prospect. The stage has been set, and it's hitting the Nintendo platform early 2020. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. Speaking of great RPG experiences on the Switch, you can never go wrong with a classic from Nintendo's own vaults. What with a sequel already paving the way for the series, it was only about time that they bring one of the Wii's best titles to a new audience. While they already did with the 3DS in 2015, Xenoblade Chronicles will be reborn on the Switch with improved graphics that will breathe new life to Shulk's quests around a lush world. No release window just yet, but we know it's coming sometime 2020. Sable. Speaking of worlds to immerse in, you might want to try your hand at getting lost in this open-world desert of discovery from Shedwork Studio. First announced in 2018, Sable was already turning heads with the breathtaking design of its world. Taking inspiration from the works of the great French cartoonist Moebius, Sable's deserts look vast, sparse, but never boring with its mastery of lines and colors. That's key in a game that encourages exploration on an alien planet. It's gonna be lonely out there, and lonelier still as you uncover the coming-of-age tale of a girl deciding who she wants to be. It's coming out to the PC and Xbox One sometime in 2020.
Where are you, insect? I have reshaped these humans into virulent sculptures.
System Shock Remake and System Shock 3. System Shock is staging its comeback in the new decade too. With two different projects side by side, it's hard to pick out which one we're more excited for. On one hand, we're getting a remake of the original SS1 game from our childhood from Night Dive Studios. From their previews, it's looking pretty slick, keeping it extremely faithful to the design and mechanics of the original game. On the other, we'll also be treated to a spectacle of fresh and familiar with a brand new sequel that's still made under the guidance of director Warren Spector and even features the return of Shodan voice actress Terry Brocious.
Now comes the reckoning.
The sequel may need a little more time in the oven. Our chances on the remake are slightly better with an early 2020 release window for the PC, the PS4, and the Xbox One.
Good day, Cycle, citizen. You may be experiencing disorientation or memory loss. This is a normal side effect of the cloning process.
Paranoia. Happiness is mandatory. This upcoming RPG brings a classic tabletop RPG to the modern video game age, bringing together isometric RPGs with tactical combat. Paranoia doesn't play like its tabletop counterpart though, but set in an Orwellian future where all must live under the watchful eye of the friend computer, treachery is still very much at play in this adaptation. In it, you complete missions along with a party of 9 specialists. The twist is that their loyalties aren't yours. Paranoia sets in as your supposed members rat out your misdeeds to the beloved computer. Injecting comedy into a seemingly bleak dystopia, Paranoia has never been more charming. It's set to release on the PC, PS4, and Xbox One sometime in 2020. Spiritfarer. Single-player games don't always mean being alone. Sometimes it means taking on difficult journeys that teach us lessons we can bring along outside the game. An indie title from Thunder Lotus Games, Spiritfarer is just that. Looking like one of those animated movies we love, it has a feel of home about it with interesting characters and beautifully drawn 2D backdrops. However, for a game that is as colorful and charming as it looks, Spiritfarer has a mission, and it's helping us learn how to say goodbye. We haven't even played it yet, but we know it's gonna be quite an emotional adventure, topped with elements of building and exploration. It's scheduled to release on the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and the Switch in 2020. Half-Life Alyx. Christmas came early for the longtime fans of Valve's Half-Life series. It might not be the much-awaited third chapter, but it seems like a first step in the comeback of a lifetime. Half-Life Alyx is a VR game, and it's quite a statement to bring one of the last decade's favorites to today's Vogue platform. With Alyx, Valve is making strides once more with a VR game that promises to be as long as Half-Life 2. Set between the 2 existing Half-Life games, familiar characters will definitely make their return, most especially our main man Gordon Freeman, who will be still voiced by Mike Shapiro. Valve says it's one of their biggest games yet, and it's coming sometime in 2020. Werewolf the Apocalypse. Don't get us wrong, vampires are great and all, but it's about time werewolves get their chance in the spotlight. This is another video game adaptation inspired by White Wolf Publishing's games. Compared to the sun-phobic vampires, werewolves are attuned to nature. Apocalypse comes at an opportune moment, telling the story of a banished werewolf fighting a vampire-led corporation and the pestilence they bring. We only have a reveal trailer so far, but developer Cyanide is said to play at the balancing act between the heavy metal rage of the wolf and the sober reason of man. It's coming out on the PC, the PS4, and the Xbox One in 2020. Ghost of Tsushima. Another game that's still up in the air but otherwise worthy of the attention is Sucker Punch's breathtaking look at the life of the last samurai in Tsushima's Mongol invasion. Ghost of Tsushima is rife with Japanese inspirations, most notably from auteur filmmaker and a force in samurai cinema, Akira Kurosawa. From their trailers, these inspirations look well executed with its slick sword fighting scenes and cinematic atmosphere. It's expected to land exclusively on the PlayStation 4 sometime this summer. Elden Ring. Now, we're not exactly sure that this game will see the light of the release day before the end of 2020. However, with an all-star production featuring From Software, who just won Game of the Year with their new IP Sekiro, and Game of Thrones' George R.R. Martin, Elden Ring is brimming with promise as a single-player action-adventure. So far, we only have an announcement trailer to drool over, but we might have a better idea of what it's about soon, as From Software plans to show it off sometime in February. Although there are rumors of it releasing early in 2020, the only thing confirmed is its release on the PC, the PS4, and the Xbox One.
You could